All right, guys, got a question about being short-staffed, but not necessarily being short nursing staffed or short with nurses, but also being short with CNAs or techs or LNAs or whatever it is that you call your assisting people, your assisting staff. So let's address being short-staffed with nurses first. Hopefully, if you are short-staffed with nurses, you have something you can reach out to, something like a float pool or agency or something like that. If that is the case, you'll simply reach out to your pool, your agency, whatever it may be, pick up a nurse, and go about your day, and everything is good. If you don't have this, guess what? You are taking on more than your normal fair share of assignments. Yay! And everybody says, oh, the state law is, or the state says, no nurse can have, I'm just making this up, no nurse can have more than 5 patients. Oh, well, guess what, Chris? You're getting 10 today. Yay! And you know what? You now are responsible for 10 patients, and if you leave these 10 patients, you are the one who is going to be in some trouble for neglect or abandonment or whatever it is that it may be. Yes, you showed up. You took the keys. You are now that nurse with 10 patients when you were supposed to have 5 patients. It sucks. It sure does. There are certain laws, rules, regulations set in place that are supposed to keep that from happening. However, when you are short-staffed, it does happen. You can pitch a fit all you want to, but if you are there and you took the keys, you are responsible for X number of patients. And it is no fun. I've been there. I've done that. We're still working short staff since the beginning of COVID back in. Actually, it took us a few months, but, since probably about May, I've been short staffed this entire time. Yes, you're going to take that assignment, and you are going to have to do it, and you are going to have to provide care and make sure everybody is okay. Hopefully, you have some sort of charge nurse or lead nurse or something like that can help you, and in that case, that is awesome. If you don't have that person, that is terrible, and you got to do it all by yourself. It sucks. It really does suck being short-staffed. You are just tired and exhausted at the end of the day, and you just don't feel like doing anything. It's terrible. It's just terrible. Yes, you have to take that assignment. Yes, it is no fun. It sucks. It truly does. The second part of the question was, what do you do if you are short-staffed on your techs, your CNAs, LNAs, whatever it is you call your non-licensed staff? Here, I'll probably say non-licensed staff quite often. Here in North Carolina, that is what CNAs are considered as non-licensed staff. So, if you have a bunch of CNAs call out, and you need so many on the floor, and let's just say you need 4 on the floor, because it just sounds cool to say 4 on the floor, and you have 2 today. Well, you're going to run them 2 as ragged as you can run them, and then you, the nurse, you have to pick up all of that slack. That's right, because just because your CNAs aren't there doesn't mean people quit pooping in the bed. Oh no, people still poop in the bed when your CNAs ain't there. And when your CNAs ain't there, someone's got to clean the poopy out the bed, because you don't want somebody laying in a poopy bed, developing some sort of bed sore, getting some sort of infection, and then getting very sick. Because that's going to fall back on you, the nurse. You are going to be held responsible. Even though these individuals are non-licensed staff and they may not show up, you are the responsible party that has to take care of these individuals. A lot of nurses get on to their CNAs when things are not done. I have done it myself. Yes, I've had words with CNAs before when things don't get done, simply because you are the responsible one and they aren't necessarily responsible. Now, you can do some sort of documentation, say nurse delegated this task to CNA. However, you are the one that needs to be responsible for that task being completed. If it's not completed, guess what? You are the one that has to deal with it. One time I had a patient, just giving a short, quick story, had a patient that had a ostomy bag, and it was full. Patient rang out, said, "Hey, I need my ostomy bag changed. I delegated the task to another CNA. Guess what? They didn't do it, and the ostomy bag actually busted. It exploded. The big old mess everywhere. Guess who had to do all of the paperwork involved with that incident? This guy. That's right. True story. And guess what? It was my hide if it didn't get documented or charted or whatever it may be. Even though I delegated this task to the CNA, I did not follow up to make sure that the task was done. I should have, and I did not. That was a brand new grad, and I learned that one quickly. If a task doesn't get done, or if it doesn't get done in a timely fashion, I've lost it before, and I've chewed out CNAs. I have. I try really hard not to. I really try not to fuss at any of my staff because, at the end of the day, you're all a team, and you're supposed to act as a team. However, something like that is unacceptable, and then now I am responsible for what you did not do, even though I told you to do it. And it's just not cool. Now, I did go to my director, I did go to my charge nurse about the situation. So it didn't look as bad on me as it did, but it still looked bad upon me because this had actually happened. These things happen. If you're out of a CNA, you are still responsible for these individuals getting things that they need that aren't necessarily medical, such as bed changes, ostomy changes, things like that. Their Foleys need emptied. I don't know if your CNAs do or do not do their emptying of the catheters, but their Foleys still need emptied. Things like this. You are still responsible as that nurse. You are the responsible party. And it's hard to deal with. It's hard to kind of learn. It's more of an experience thing, to be completely honest with you. It took me a little while. It was definitely not something I picked up day one, because you're definitely going to have to be heard. You're definitely going to have to delegate. And if you got two CNAs that are there, you don't want to run them off, but you still want to delegate to them. It's terrible. One time, this happened once. I was short. I was actually a CNA, and it was just me, and there should have been 3 of us. Thankfully for me, my charge nurse said, "Chris, I don't have a team today. I'm going to pick up some slack, and I'm going to help you out with the CNA duties." So that was awesome. But all the duties still needed to get done. All those patients still need baths and whatever else I had to do and everything else. Thankfully, my charge nurse helped me. She did as good a job as she could. And so it made the night not quite as bad. But yes, if you're short-staffed CNAs and you are the nurse, you are still responsible for all of these tasks. Do your very best to delegate. Do your very best to get help. Hopefully you have a staff that's willing to work with you. But you never know. Sometimes you do, sometimes you don't. If you like this video, don't forget to check out this one over here-ish. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe over there. I hope it helps. Thank you much.